Thank you for joining us for part two in this special feature with our guest, Clordene. And just in case you missed part one, Clordene shared with us her career shift from broadcaster stroke media manager to digital marketer. You want to go back and check that out as she shared how she did it, why she did it, and we're going to continue the discussion on this episode. So let's welcome back Claudine to the Serenity Resource Connector space.
Thank
Claudine,
you so much for the opportunity. I am back again, and it's my pleasure. I love to hang out with you.
same here. I enjoy your company so much. All right, so let's take a a little look back at what some of the things that we talked about last week, just a little snippet that will lead into this week's conversation.
A lot of people get up in their feelings and they never prepare for it. Was I prepared for it? I thought I was prepared for it, but that's another episode into
Yes.
into really shifting, making that mindset shift that I'm gonna go do something on my own that I know I'm capable of without any funding, without a brick and mortar, and I'm gonna have to hold myself accountable for those steps that I'm gonna make. For the first time in a long time, I wake up every day anxious to start working because I think I found that alignment, that
Yes.
purpose, that place. And for me, that was where I say, I'm home. I am home in this space, likes local, and this is where I'm supposed to be.
Awesome. So, this is where we are on this
Yep.
episode, Likes Local, the vision that became a reality. Our local business development entity, JBDC, says they take you from concept to market. And so, every idea, every concept starts with that dream, that vision. So, Claudine, let's start by you sharing how did this Likes Local all start? What's the vision that you had and how did it get to this stage?
Okay, so my days back in radio, I was spending a lot of time getting the radio station to have an online presence to reach more persons who are listening to us in the diaspora. So I started looking at online streaming platforms. I started looking at ways we could get people in a community. And at that time, we were calling the community a tribe. And so, I knew the importance of community, and then I knew the importance of social media management and social media marketing and connecting with more of our listeners in on that platform. And so I had it in the back of my mind as I was learning about social media that I wanted to bring more of it because traditional radio, traditional media, it can only reach so far in terms of the wide range of audience that the diaspora that we're trying to reach. So it
Right.
we didn't know really how to get those figures. Instead, we had to wait on an all media survey, which was very expensive. It would come out every year, but on social media we had the opportunity there and then to see how many persons were logging on, where they were logging on from, and so on. So I got that deep down that there was going to be a shift. I was never big on social media personally, but then when I started using the operations we had at the radio station to bring us online, I felt this was something that was going to be around for a very long time. If you're planning events, if you're having events, you're going to want to use social to get to the people.
Right.
And then I met my who's now my business partner, and it was his idea to name the company Likes Local, simply because we had this whole Google My Business idea that there are people in different geographical location, and that's where the locale comes from. So we wanted to get people to interface with their customer base in their geographical location. So that's where Likes Local comes from, the likes from the social media. So that name was, it cannot be credited to me. It's my business partner whose idea it
Okay.
was to name it that. And I bought into it because I was like, yes, likes and your local and so on and so forth. So that's where it came, because he has an IT background, information technology background. He's actually a
Oh,
software engineer, and I have the communication background, and later on my certification in digital marketing. So the two came together to form this ideal one-stop shop or hub for people who are looking for digital marketing, social media, graphics design, video editing, website design, website hosting, domain name. So we just brought everything together. So the I would always say the pretty side of the marketing side is me. The back end and the everything to do with the
dive.
programming, everything doing stringing up things together, it's him. So that's how we've come together with this.
Wow. That's a perfect synergy right there.
Yeah.
Working together. That's really really awesome. But that's the surface side of things, because in the earlier part of the clip shared earlier, you some pitfalls. You didn't go into it because that was for another episode. I hope this is the episode where you share,
Yeah.
because we still have to tie in the shift into getting here, because a lot of um, the pitfalls that we have to look out for, or you were able to navigate them. Share with us.
Okay, well, the cost of doing business is what it really is. And I think because I am more or less the face of Likes Local, then I had to come to the realization that the mindset shift had to happen. And it was going to happen in the case where I no longer think of myself as a person working in broadcasting, which is more or less behind the scene, but I will become a person. At one point, I said to myself, I want to become a voice. When I was doing radio, I didn't want people to know who I was. I just wanted to be a voice. And this is a shift, a complete shift from what I can possibly say. It's me coming out of my comfort zone in a lot of ways, because persons would hear my voice and they would recognize it on lots of commercials. But when I come in front of a camera like this, for example, and speaking to people, I had to get that shift. And the shift was, I am moving from a broadcasting where I was behind the scenes onto being the face of a brand. And that means that I need to know my stuff. I'm going into an industry where it is a shift from what is customary to me, and I had to learn everything I could possibly learn about digital marketing. And it takes a lot of dedication, it takes a lot of time to learn the language. And one of the encouragement I would give persons who are trying to start a business or making that career shift is to dig deep, do the deep dive into the industry that you are going to be working in, so that you can establish authority and credibility. It's important that you know what you're talking about. And when customers or your client base put their trust in you, that they actually will get their return on investment because you know exactly what you're about.
Indeed.
You stand by your brand. It is not I didn't reach here overnight. I'm talking about leaving my job in 2017, having projects and projects and projects. And a project is something that has a beginning and an end.
Yes.
So they were not overlapping projects. I would have months where I have projects and I was a freelance consultant, and then there were months when there was nothing. And then you start wondering, should I have left my job? That kind of thing. And do I have imposter syndrome? Am I going into this field? Do I know everything that I need to know? So that's why it's important for you when it gets tough to know that you have enough knowledge and skill set to push through that, because that's what makes business grow and excel. Not that you're going to just get popular and use your popularity to get clients. I crossed over into a completely different field that I had to study and equip myself to be able to deliver to my clients.
That's it. That's it. Because your clients are coming to you with expectations because most of them do not know all the things that they really need to know. So when they come to you, they're expecting you to be the expert. So
Mm-hmm.
you're going to be able to provide them with guidance. Not
Mm-hmm.
so sure about this, as with when you were doing my logo design.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know all the terms. I don't believe I need to, which is why
Mm-hmm.
I'm engaging your expertise.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to be able to answer my questions to say,
Mm-hmm.
because I ran into several situations where the person on the other end just wasn't able to bridge the gap in terms of helping me to understand the language that you are speaking. Remember, we're from two different fields,
Yeah.
and so it's very important, as you shared, that you know what it is that you're talking about. You're able to pick up on what it is that I'm seeking to get so that you can deliver and
Mm-hmm.
wow me so that I can say, hey, you have to check
Yeah.
out Claudine because Claudine knows what she's talking
and
about.
and and that's one of the reasons I did
Yes,
digital marketing. I could have stopped at social media management. I could just stop right there. But I realized that the life cycle of a product, when a product gets to market, it's you have to take a potential customer from being a potential customer to the end result being that that customer becomes a repeat client or
yeah,
also become refer your business to another person. So a lot of people I see, and because I my niche, I really niche down to startups and small businesses. And I want you to flag that before, because that question, so I can go back to it,
right,
about why startup and small businesses.
indeed,
I realized that a lot of persons spend so much energy in getting inventory, stocks, putting up a website, and they never spend time to do marketing. It's always too expensive, and I'm not seeing the return on my market investment. I am out there and I'm not selling anything, but I'm paying you this money, but I'm not seeing anything. Trust and believe that you plant a seed, you're going to have to wait for that tree to grow before you can eat the fruit of that tree, right?
that's right,
And so it's similar with marketing. People think psychologically, they think, and marketing psychology would tell you, people need to know you. They have to become aware of who you are, what you're offering.
right,
They need to like you. They see you as genuine human, understanding their pain points, and then they have to trust you. And when they trust you, they do business with you, right?
that's
So
it,
if you can't go through those three phases, and it takes time for, so think about it, you're dating someone, you know the person, right? And then you start
exactly,
liking them, and then you start dating, and it's like, oh, I want to take it to another level, and you're proposed to, and then you know that you're on a long journey. A lot of people don't see the humanness in
in
marketing,
marketing,
and
yes,
that's what I bring to the whole experience. I have to coach, and I have to train, and I have to teach, and I have to remind the client that these are the things that needs to be done for you to reap in the long run.
right, and that's very important too. Once you're engaged in a business that involves consultation of any sort, you must be able to coach when it's time for coaching, teach, and you have to be able to switch the roles because each client comes with different expectations at different levels, and so it's that's very important in terms of establishing those relationships because that's how your business grows. Based
Yes.
on the relationship, it takes some time to nurture, as you
Mm-hmm.
shared, for people to get to know you before you actually start seeing the
Seeing the
fruits.
results. Yeah.
That's it. And it's not a overnight fad. You have to be invested.
And that is one of the reasons I, you know, if you have a client and the client understands and trusts you. Now, I've had situations where I've had clients who, they pull out before they even start seeing results. Okay, 1 month passed, I'm not seeing anything. So I'm gone. And I have clients who like, oh, I understand, I trust the process and I'm going to go through, and they see results.
Yes.
And whenever a client comes to me, I will say to them, if it is that you feel that it's going to be an overnight experience, I am not going to enter a contractual agreement with you. You want to grow your company and see return on your investment, it's going to take time. And that is what is needed. So if you're not in it to set aside that money for you to grow your business, you are wasting money to begin with to end in 3 months after all. And especially since the internet has gone all crazy on all of us. I just had a meeting with a client, and the client was talking about, he was showing me a lot of beautiful graphics that he did and never put up on social media in 2020. You know what happens? It's 2022. Graphic still photos are not doing very well on social media anymore. You have to have reels, shorts. You have to be on TikTok. You have to be on Snapchat. You have to be on YouTube shorts. I did mention shorts before. Instagram and Facebook reels, in order for you to see some traction in your business, so people to really get up close, because our attention span has gotten so tiny. And
Yeah.
especially if you don't have high quality video and graphics, people are just going to scroll past and never engage you. So, we have to be thinking it can be an in-house solution for your marketing, but you have to have somebody who is going to show you how it's done and train your staff to do it for you in a way that it can be done professionally.
Indeed, because that's what's going to set you apart. Because there's so many things to be done, and depending on the nature of your business, you might not have the skill set in house nor the time to
And
actually.
that's why, yeah, and that's why you outsource something as
That's right.
important as your marketing, and somebody who understands, how you're going to take the brand into development stage and retain your customers. So I say to people all the time, social media marketing, or social media marketing, is not just posting on the internet. It's not just putting something out there. You put something out there with an intention, which means you
Right.
have to set your SMART goals. Your marketing goals must align with your business goals. You have to know your key performance indicators and what metrics you're going to use to measure those. So it's okay to say, I have a company and it's called Clordene Inc. And I'm going to put up Clordene picture every day, watering the flowers, walking the dog, driving to the supermarket, going for an evening stroll. To what end? What is the goal of me putting out that content? And you have to know the reason behind your content. Is your content addressing your customers pain points? And again, most importantly, when I talk about target audience, niche, buyer personas, those kinds of things, the customer, the business owner must know who they're serving. Drill down to a niche, a customer base, know that person, know what they're thinking, know what they do in their spare time, know what they do at home and consume at home. And so, it's a lot of thing that goes into the foundation of doing digital marketing. And anybody can see it and say, oh, but I just need a social media manager, somebody to just, an intern to post every now and again. It does not grow, nor does it engage your target audience. You need a content marketer or a digital marketer, or someone who knows to what to do at what stage of the game that you're at.
Indeed, that's very important. And this is a good point to get back to that topic of your niche and why you position your brand as kingdom entrepreneurs helping others to birth out their God-given gifts. Talk to us about that, and I'm sure
Yeah.
that will bring out your startup and your small businesses. Tell us about.
Right.
Yes.
Good. So let me address the startup and small business. And you say, what happened to medium-sized businesses? What happens to big companies? There is an urgent need. You see, because when you're doing a startup, the hardest thing for you to do is to find big budget to do marketing.
Right.
Essentially, if you're starting a business and you go to a credit union or some lending agency and you borrow $1 million, $2 million, you have to segment some of that for marketing. But the truth is, a lot of times, businesses that have great potential or startups that have great ideas, they do not go very far because they don't have the resources in terms of human resources to get them to move, to concentrate on their business. So I think that is the crucial stage of the game for any individual. What I get with a startup person or an entrepreneur or a small business owner is the one on one personal. Good. You go to a company and you have to interact with a marketing manager or a marketing director, and the market and the person who started the company, who has the vision, may not be directly involved.
Right.
As a person, I believe, and I have my personal philosophy, and my business partner has this personal philosophy, and that is God created all of us with gifts inside of us.
Indeed.
It became very clear to me when I worked my 9 to 5 and I became so ill that my doctor recommended that I leave my job. And when I left the job, they moved in people in the position I was in. I don't have a legacy there. I don't have anything there. I was just a former employee. When I'm building my own thing and I'm putting my energy in there, I have the opportunity to leave my legacy. I have an opportunity to
Right.
pour my heart into it and say, this is what I am building for the next generation. And I believe that in all created human being, there is something that is inside you, whether it is active, dormant, whether you know that it's there or not, that is supposed to give you the fulfillment of the purpose of your life. So when you find that inside of you and you align that gift with you, it will inform your purpose. And that's when you start waking up in the morning and thinking, gosh, I love to go to do
Ah,
this job.
oh,
I
yeah.
love to serve this type of people. I love to do this. Now, because of the struggle with startup and small businesses and not having the manpower or the time to dedicate to all of this work, I decided that at this season in my life and in my business, I'm going to help as many persons who have an idea that they need to birth out as possible. And so recently, I met on this young lady who has so much fire inside of her. And she said to me, I want to forge a partnership with you. And I want you to provide exactly what you provide. And I'm going to provide business strategy for businesses, right? And you
Right.
meet upon these people who said, okay, I cannot do your business registration. I cannot do your business, whatever business credential you need to operate. But you have an idea and you have a partner like you, Winsome, who can set that up for somebody. And you say,
That's it.
when you're done setting that up, I'm going to hand you over to somebody who can do your online marketing.
That's
Online marketing is like, it can be free. You can invest little money in it, right? And
right.
you can know how you are doing it. So it is not out of the reach of anyone. It is the great equalizer. A big business like Coca-Cola or Amazon can use the same platform
Platform.
and reach their customer. And you, if you're starting a restaurant, if you're starting a car wash business, if you're starting a salon, you need to get your business up to that level. And so this lady's like, I have that expertise, but I need this to sell to my clients when they form their
Value
business.
add.
Right. So so my purpose is to, and it goes back to being a kingdom citizen, and that's what I refer to myself as, is having the vision to see and to reveal to you what your vision is for the gift that is inside of you. And I said last week that I used to read the newspaper out loud. I was in broadcasting and all of that. And it comes down to this very same thing. My voice and being a voiceover talent has earned me a lot of income. And I can do it in my sleep. I don't necessarily need to be laboring to do it. Right?
Right.
So it is. Every one of us have within us a talent or a gift that can become a business, that can be monetized, that you can reach other people and multiply that gift in other people. And that is my special personal touch.
Amazing. And that is indeed what I believe each of us are here to do, to lend
Yes.
our personal touch to those around us. And if we continue to do that, what a beautiful world this would be. Each
Yeah.
person focused on their area of giftings, and they're able to come together and running our own race
Yes,
because there's
because
no need
there
to
is enough
compete.
there's enough pieces of the pie to go around.
That's right.
Believe that. There is no reason why one person can own 10 companies, 10 operations, and somebody who is working at the bottom, let's say the person is opening the doors, and that may not necessarily be the bottom for some people. No disrespect to anybody who opens doors. Why can't you become the chairman of that company? And it is what we need to get in our psychology, in our minds, that if I start at point A, I can go to point B. I dare to dream,
That's right.
and for me, I thought, okay, I wanted to start a radio station. I did start an online radio station, and I realized that my fulfillment for that was not coming. But when I tell you that I can look at a person and say, they say, I have a business and I want to set up this business, and every part of me just come to life, because
Yes.
that's what I feel, that it's my season to do that. It's my season to usher in people's dreams and ideas into real life.
Amazing. And that's it. The vision to reality. Because that's about, because there are so many people walking around with these dreams, vision, but fear and all different obstacles come in the way, and they are just not stepping out. But they need support. All they need is support to do so, and that's one of the reasons too why I focus on startup and small businesses, for the very same reason, because they're not able to take advantage of certain opportunities that are out there without being formalized. The government vouchers and all of that that's
Mhm.
available, without your business being registered and getting the proper license depending on the area that you're in, you're not going to be able to access those, which means that your business have already failed before it actually get off the ground.
Mhm.
So there's no need. It's counterproductive to be investing in putting your business out there when you're not properly registered, because it's
Mhm.
actually illegal
Right.
to be promoting your business and it's not registered.
Mhm.
Because you start promoting, you're out there and you go, all right, I'm ready now to go formalize my business. When you get your registration, uh-oh, that name is already taken, or it's too
Taken.
close to another name
Yeah.
that's already on the book, so you can't use that. What happened?
And
You
that's the
have,
same way I tell people, if you have
yeah,
a business idea, you have a business name, you get it registered, get your domain name at the same time. Because before you know it, you go back, you want to do a business, you want to start an internet for a website for your business, and then you can't get the name
can't
that you
get the name.
registered in. So there are certain things that persons need to become aware
Foundational.
of when they're
Yeah,
starting their business.
right. The foundational stuff, because it
Hmm.
comes back to haunt you down the road. Right. So these are some key. This is really such an awesome conversation, and and the synergy too, because in terms of the areas of focus and
Hmm.
the that drive, because there are too many people who are out there operating businesses that are running into serious problems because they did not know the right thing to do when they got started.
Right.
And it's more costly to fix those when you're in the middle of everything, because you have already put yourself out there. You're
Hmm.
offering your product or service at a particular price. But guess what? When you regularize, formalize your business, then you realize there are additional expenses that your business really ought to have been paying, which was not
Right.
factored in the price in the first place. And so you run into serious problems because now
Hmm.
you're going to be offering the same service, same product at a different rate. How do you explain that to your existing customers,
Yeah.
clients? And I learned that from,
I didn't charge you the GCT, and I'm supposed to be paying the GCT, and I have other things to pay, and I did not put that in the cost. So then you're starting to operate at a loss. And I think that's why our conversation is important, because lots of persons, it's not just to say a name and open a social media account and say, I am this. You have to do the accounting, you have to do the legal, dot all the I's and cross the T's for that one.
right. Glad you mentioned that because that's another area that a number of small businesses miss. Micro small businesses don't understand that the same departments, divisions that are part of those conglomerates, as a solopreneur, you have to take care of all of those things.
Yeah.
You have the legal side that you need to attend to,
Hmm.
the accounting side, all of those you have to factor in. And if it is that you do not have the expertise to deal with those things,
You outsource.
you outsource. You
Yeah.
don't need to be shuffling around and taking
Hmm.
on different employees because you're not able to afford employees because taking on employees brings in a different set of
Yeah.
responsibilities and
Abilities.
liabilities, which
Yeah.
a number of our small businesses have not been off with either in terms of the legal responsibilities.
And then you need somebody. I mean, if you are listening to this program and you are a micro or a small business operator, what you need to do is to get the information that you need. Outsource if you need to outsource, but you also need to know when to scale your business. And
Right,
what better way to track your consumer or your customer base than to have a database of customers that you know how often they come into your store. And that's one of the things we offer as well, is really productivity software that can help you to track your customer base, to know, is it time for me to take on somebody to help with that? Would taking
right,
on somebody bring me more clients or serve these clients better, so I can spend more time scaling the business? And I mean, there's a lot to learn in the whole setup and operation of a business, that you have great knowledge of. And I would defer you, I would refer to you and say, anybody who needs that kind of service to start a business, set a business straight, then you're the person. But when it comes to marketing that business and that idea,
go to Likes Local.
yeah,
Yes, I have the general idea as to what areas and all of that, but I stick to my areas of specialty and I prefer the experts to deal with that because it will take too much out of me to do
yeah,
those things. Because it was last year in 2021, in the midst of COVID, that it just dawned on me that not because you're able to do something means
yeah,
that you're the best person to be doing that particular
right,
thing. Right? Because that's how burnout comes in, and you're
yep,
not going to be able to operate at your optimal if you're doing those tasks that would be best done by someone else, which is
hmm,
the whole matter of scaling.
and it is, and you can get work done for not the large amount of money that a lot of people will just scare you
Reasonable.
off with, but
Yeah,
reasonable. And it's important that you get that done from the jump street, you know.
indeed.
Mhm.
Yes. So we have been sharing some tips that you're to consider as a startup for small businesses. Some of the things you'd look at. Clordene shared her journey as to how Likes Local started, who she served, what she offers, and the importance of running your own race, which means you're using your God given gift to serve the people that you are called to serve,
Yeah.
right? Not everything that you can do, you need to be doing. All right. So let us seek to complement each other instead of competing with each other. Because really and truly, there's no one who can do what Winsome does just the way Winsome does it. No,
That's true.
neither can you do, I do what Clordene does the way Clordene does it, because we have unique voices, we're unique individuals, unique giftings, and thankfully we've come to the realization that we are all able to shine to make each other's light even brighter.
That's so true. That's so true.
So let's continue to do just that. So, Claudine, we're going to wrap now. So, any final thoughts? And just to share with the viewers that we have another segment to this
Yeah,
feature. You
one
want to,
more.
yes, you want to look out for that?
Yeah. My final thought is try to step into your purpose. Try to step into your purpose. If you make an attempt and you step into it, or you're trying to and doors are closing in your face, don't stop. Overcome your fear by being bold.
That's right. And that's a great note on which to end. Overcome your fears by being bold. So, see you next time as we continue this discussion. As we share tidbits with you, especially for those starting up or you're in a small business. All right. And feel free to leave your questions, your comments in the comment section of this video on whatever platform. All right. Take care.